Pedro, spiritual entrepreneur. Um, had to make this other video, right? Because I'm listening to Ty Lopez. I went back to revisit on the 67, one of the 67 steps, and it appears to me that this society, well, let's not even go there. It's good to have role models, and you learn what you need from each person, but we be able to differentiate because we got into the point where so many people, successful people people who are financially successful. Hold on, let's wait for this plane to pass by. People who are financially successful think they know all things that need to deal with spirituality. And my thing is, for example, all right, we have plenty successful people like Oprah, Tony Robbins, who know about the law of attraction and how to actually apply it, versus someone like Ty, who it appears, um, in my opinion, all right, because I could be wrong and he could be expressing it differently, and he makes some very good points. Like learning what you need from each person because no one's perfect. But the idea, it seems so many people like Ty, all right, confuse the idea of, hold on, it's too bright. There we go. Confuse the idea of law of attraction with wishful thinking. And it's not wishful thinking because the same thing applies with knowledge. You can get knowledge, but you need to apply it when the opportunity shows. So with wishful thinking, you put yourself in the ideal place you'd like to be in. When the opportunities show, you take the action, and you have to hold on to your dreams, the way you would love to live your life. That vision needs to be clear in your mind, you know. But this is not wishful thinking. This is not sit on your butt and then do nothing about it. We're not at that level where I can think about a portobello vegan burger right now and bam, it just shows up right here. You know? No, I'm not saying it can't happen, right? But we're just not at that level right now. And not only that, but he mentions not to think things in terms of black and white. And I think to view what law of attraction is and the power of our minds, and to say that we need to adapt to our environment and that's how we survive or thrive, although it is true in some extent, let's not forget that this environment is built by people like you and me. All right, we're not victims to our environment. It has a great effect on us, yes, a lot. And it can definitely affect us in so many different ways. But if we know that we have the capability to build these concrete jungles, then we have just the same capability to go back and build more nature. You know, we've come so used to accepting unhealthiness as normal, right? Ty talks about Richard Dawkins for things on biology and how you shouldn't project yourself, or why. Or he asked the question, you should ask why. Why should you love yourself even though you're fat or out of shape or not fit? And I believe there's an extreme in there. There's a confusion, because it's not to say that you can't love yourself. And Ty talks about not black and white thinking. That is a form of black and white thinking, and that's a bit of an extreme. Loving yourself doesn't mean you say, okay, I love myself, I'm out of shape, but I love myself and I'm gonna stay out of shape. No, if you're out of shape and you're not fit, then you're gonna obviously work towards being fit. But you gotta love yourself and accept that, hey, before doing that, you need to accept that I'm out of shape. You can't be hating yourself over it, right? You should love yourself. Loving yourself means you recognize the things that make you imperfect and you work towards the best version of yourself, right? Why all this noise? Why do we need to come to a point where it's like, oh, it's okay to lose hair? I'm not going to look at Richard Dawkins as a role model for everything. Same with anybody, all right? You learn what you need from each person, and you take that knowledge and use it for yourself towards the goals you want to achieve. Ty talks about happiness, health, and wealth. All right, losing hair, that's not healthy. Okay, that's not healthy at all. But yet, you can't beat Ty at a basketball game, supposedly. or at least the people he's played with, and it could be that that's who he's attracting to. All right. To each his own. Everybody is aiming towards the same thing, a life full of abundance and prosperity. But we cannot confuse that just because we have financial success that we know everything about everything else about spirituality. Because let's not forget that even Dale Carnegie even talks about being able to like use the law of attraction and write down your goals and recite them and live them in your head and as if they're so real. You need to accept them as if they're real, because not only does that need to happen, but after you build that, after you create that emotion and that reality in your head, then you need to go out there and take the opportunities, take the action. So, come on, banana. Cute little dog. Little do dog sitting on the side. Oh, baby. So, let's not get that confused, guys. Okay? There's financial success, and then there's spiritual success. Just because you're successful financially doesn't mean you're successful spiritually. But honestly, there's a lot of spiritual people who are financially successful, and there's a lot of financial people who are spiritually successful. I think the idea is we want to have all of these things: happiness, health, wealth, and love. Okay? No one is an expert in everything. The minute you start thinking, even Ty, that you know exactly what the law of attraction is, or you know exactly what it is to be spiritual, then you're losing it. You'll gain all this success through hard work, but in the meantime, you'll be losing certain parts of yourself. All right? And I never understood what it meant to be like when it means to like work, making money, when it comes to topics about making money through pain, or attaining wealth through pain and attaining wealth through spirituality. Which is why, for me, like Buddha says, the middle way is what you want to do. You don't want to be too extreme. You don't want to be too extreme on financial success. You don't want to be too extreme on spiritual success, right? You should aim for both, all right? Because I know a lot of us want to aim for both, all right? But you need to take the middle way. The middle way is highly recommended. Why? Because it's like take an atom bomb, all right? I forgot the nuclear reactors. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember well, it needs to be just right. Too much, it fails. Too little, it fails. Too much, and we have an explosion. So it has to like balance. And every time we're like moving towards a goal, we can't be rushing ourselves. There has to be a balance, right? Because there are certain things. You may be standing right here, right now. This is where you're standing, right? Take life as a stairway, and this is where you're standing, all right? And you want to move up. You always want to move up. That's banana. But at the same time, you want to look under where you're standing so you can get an understanding of where you are, and then keep moving forward. All right? So, I love Ty. Ty's got some awesome stuff. That guy reads a book a day, and you guys should aim for doing the same thing. And do the same. Learn what you need to learn from every single person. You may not agree with everything, and Ty himself mentions it. You may not agree with everything I say, but the idea is we want to learn as much as possible. Okay? The guy has I would say, a fairly good balance between knowing that, hey, I know this and I know that. I have some results to prove it. All right? But at the same time, I still got to work on I still have to work on a lot of stuff. Anyways, Pedro, spiritual entrepreneur. Let's energize. Peace.